Hey guys, so welcome to my January 9th DVD update. I had planned on doing this update yesterday, but I was really busy during the day, and during the night I went to an early screening of the new film There Will Be Blood, which was definitely a must-see movie. I really liked it a lot. And there's going to be a Don and Murph review of that, although I don't know if Don and Murph can give that movie justice with their comedy and everything. So I'm going to show you the DVDs that I've gotten over the last 2 weeks. The last one of these videos I did was the day after Christmas, and I got a bunch of different ones. The first ones I'm going to show was when I was away. I went to Five Below, and I'm planning on doing a Rambo for the new Rambo movie review, and I hadn't seen any of them, which was weird. For some reason, I never had interest or never thought I was going to actually like the movies. So I bought the $5 one. There was some kind of a flaw with the disc in the beginning, so it didn't work perfectly. But I really liked the movie. It had good music. I thought the acting was great. It was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. So then I really liked it. So then I bought the Blu-ray version of it since it was a low price. And then I wanted to watch the other ones, so I got part 2, and then I bought part 3. I watched part 1 and 2 and liked them. I think the first one, in my opinion, is my favorite because even though it didn't have all the action stuff, I thought it had a really cool story. Although from what I watched of part 3, I watched about half of it. I really liked this one. And a lot of these people wouldn't think these would be that good movies, or at least I didn't think that at first. But I actually ended up really liking them a lot more than I thought I was. I bought some dollar DVDs at Walmart, some weird ones. I bought The Clown Kids, which is I think a 1967 movie filmed at a circus, and it's really odd. I think it was shot in widescreen and the DVD's in full screen, so it's got some weird little flaws to it. Like they're cutting within the same shot. Like it's one big shot, but since it was such widescreen, they didn't have that panning technology they used to do. Movies like Die Hard, when they would pan the widescreen shots over to fit it all. So if you notice, when something's filmed in big widescreen, they cut it down to full screen, it gets kind of screwed up. So it would go like in one, like imagine this same shot of me, cut from this shot over to this shot. It's the same video. It's really weird how they cut it. But it was interesting. It had interesting music. And another dollar one I got was Mr. Wizard's Watch. I don't know if this was the title, but this same show I used to watch as a kid, it went into like the late 80s, I believe, or the early 90s. I don't remember when. But it was like this guy doing science experiments. It was like the pre-Beakman's World kind of show. And I think they aired it on Noggin up until a few years ago. And then they quit. And for $6.99 I bought Prom Night. I saw they were remaking this in a PG-13. Yes, it's going to be PG-13, cut down for the teens. I don't know why they're doing that and what the point of cutting that movie down is. It's a slasher movie. You don't make a PG-13 slasher movie. But I wanted to watch the original one because I hadn't seen it in a really long time, and I actually did not really remember it. I watched it in early middle school, so I hardly remember it at all. And one that I bought for $1, another one was Eternal Evil. It just looked interesting. I got it in this weird little dollar store. Mostly if I see a dollar movie for $1, if it looks interesting, I just buy it because, you know, $1 is like nothing. And then I went to see, and I didn't think I was going to like this movie, but I went to see the National Treasure movie because there's nothing else to see, and my brother wanted to see it, and the new one. And I thought it was better than I thought it was going to be. I normally don't like really those real big mainstream kind of movies, but when it got to that stuff in the cave, it reminded me of like the Goonies, you know, that old style stuff. So I bought the first National Treasure because I wanted to watch it to see what the hell happened to the first one. I don't know if it's any good or not. I heard mixed reviews of it, but I think it's like sort of like those Indiana Jones kind of things. And since I like those Rambo so much, I wanted to watch other Sylvester Stallones because, believe it or not, I didn't really watch much with him. The only movie I'd ever seen him in, I believe, was Cliffhanger. And I remember it. I think I liked that movie, but that's another one that I hadn't watched in years. But this one is a 4-pack for $9.99 of Tango and Cash, which I don't know any of these except the Demolition Man, which I'm not sure if... No, I don't know Demolition Man. I remember that other one he did, Judge Dredd, and I think that was the one with Rob Schneider in it, one of his first movies. It says A Specialist and Over the Top. And This month I bought a lot of lower price DVDs that I hadn't gotten yet or looked interesting. Another lower price one I got for $5 from Walmart was Volunteers, the Tom Hanks movie. And I know this movie didn't get good reviews, and you can buy this in all the Walmart $5 bins. But I actually liked this movie, and the first time I saw it, I liked it. But I'm sort of ashamed to like it since people hated it so much for some reason. And John Candy is on the cover. He's only in it for about 15 minutes, though. I think he might have been shooting another movie at the same time, something like that, because he's real spread out and like almost like he wasn't there much of the production. But it's a really funny, good Tom Hanks movie. I personally like Tom Hanks' comedies best. Like, I liked Castaway and some of them, but I didn't care for that, Da Vinci Code movie. That's not my kind of movie. And they're making a prequel to it, which I'm like totally not excited about at all. Like I definitely won't be reviewing that movie. Another one I got for another $9.99 one was Living Doll. It says from the producers of Pieces and Slaughter High, which is that I think that's a Canadian movie that for some reason can't get released in America. This one I liked. It was a little bit. It was from 1990. It's a little bit like that movie that came out recently, Dead Doll. And this one I had to buy. It was another $5 one because I lost the original one. As I have so many DVDs, I end up losing some of them. And I lost this one. It was called Andy Colby's Incredibly Awesome Adventure. I'm not recommending to anyone to buy this, though. It's really cheesy and really cheap. But it had this piece of music that I really liked. And it's sort of a rip-off of Pee-wee. If you watch it, there's a scene with the kid on the bike. And the music is identical to Pee-wee. It's not the Pee-wee music, but it's someone attempting to copy it. Another $5 one I bought from Five Below, and it was very pain in the ass experience after I bought this. I went in right after I bought it to Borders Books in this mall, and something about it, they didn't deactivate it, so it set off this huge alarm. So in order to go to the bathroom, they have these things up, so it set off the alarm, and everyone in the store was looking at me like this, and then the guy was going trying to rescan it, and I couldn't find the receipt right away, so he was convinced that I stole them, and it soiled Borders Books for me, like people assuming that I stole a $5 DVD. It's just one of those experiences that really, really pissed me off, and I don't think I'll think of Borders the same again because it was not very nice treatment, and I don't know. And this one I got at the one mall when I was away called the Chilla Theater, and it's a documentary on the Chilla Theater Convention, which is the convention that I always go to. I usually go to the one in October, not every one of them, because I'm and live in Maryland. It's a 4-hour drive out to where it is. But this one was produced in 2004, and I think it was produced for local TV. It's about 2 hours long, but it's a very interesting documentary about it, and I actually liked it a lot. Another one that I bought for $4 was the Screamers DVD. The only thing that sucked is it's only full screen, but I looked online. I don't think there's a widescreen version of this out, but this is a really cool movie. It's from the writer of this movie is Dan O'Bannon, who you would know who wrote Aliens and also the Return of the Living Dead movies. And this is like a sort of a They Live style movie about underground. There's these creatures that kill you with these guns. They're like robotic creatures. It's a very interesting movie. And I looked online, they're actually producing a sequel to this. And the movie came out in 1996, I think, or in 96, from a company I don't think it's in business anymore. But they're actually producing a sequel to this now. When I was away, I also bought at a comic book store, I got, these are really shameful DVDs, the way they gave them to me. I wish they would have given me a case. But I'm not going to say the name of the store, they'd be put out of business, but it's a comic book store that sells TV shows that aren't on DVD, like kids shows. Not a lot of ones that I cared about, though. I was hoping they'd have Fantasy Island, although people aren't that interested in that, or some things like that, or Family Matters. If anyone ever sees Family Matters bootlegs online, let me know, because I've been taping them off Fox Family and then watching them every single night and acting like they're live because I love that show. But this is the Power Rangers, and it doesn't say it well. It's labored really poorly, but it's the first season, the first 38 episodes. And one thing when I was looking up that movie, I found out about Power Rangers that I didn't figure out until now for some reason, was all the fight sequences with the monsters and all that. That was all stock footage from the Japanese show. and it wasn't actually produced in America. All that was all stock. I bought offline because I couldn't find it in the stores. The Weird Science, the complete first and second season. I bet a lot of people don't know this is out. I used to, as a kid, confuse the movies with this show. I used to, when I thought back to the movie, I used to always think of plots from this show and go, and then I would watch the Weird Science movie back and go, wait a minute, that scene wasn't in, that scene wasn't in, because I was always thinking of this show. And they made a lot of shows like this when they would spun off. They did one for Harry and the Hendersons, which is impossible to find. So I'd love to watch again. I watched it as a little kid, but this was one that actually has come to DVD. And it's all the movies, all the episodes, and I think there was only 2 seasons of the show, so it's pretty much all of them. I'll show you the ones I got this week in a second, but I bought for $1, what was it? Yeah, at a Salvation Army when I was buying. And no, I don't shop at the Salvation Army. I went there to buy a costume prop for the One Missed Call review, that dress. But I found Kid Safe. And this is a very rare video that was directed by Stuart Gordon, who you would know from Reanimator films. And this starred a bunch of people from SCTV. And the one woman from SCTV, I don't remember her name, was playing a kid. And it was absurd about her doing all the bad things you do at home. Drinking your mom's alcohol and setting a fire accidentally and putting a fork in the toaster. This is definitely a must-see if you can find this movie. It's very rare. I couldn't believe I found it. And I can guarantee Stuart Gordon doesn't want much to do with that anymore. And some of these I forgot to show on the last update. That's why there's so many. But one that I forgot to show, some of the dollars I forgot to show. But I forgot to show this, Rush Hour 3. People ask about, did you like this? Because I didn't show it in the last one. But I did get this like 2 weeks ago. And I did like this one. I didn't like, my favorite Rush Hour is the first one. But I did like Rush Hour 3. And then 2 Blu-rays that I got. I bought Resident Evil Extinction, which is one of the first Profile 1 DVDs, I believe. It's the one that has the picture-in-picture commentary. Out of all the Resident Evils, this is my second favorite. I loved Part 1. I didn't like Part 2 really much. I didn't care for that. But this one is definitely worth watching. This one I had a hell of a time finding because it was sold out at Suncoast. Not at Best Buy, so I had to go to Suncoast. And I haven't opened this yet. A lot of people ask, why haven't you opened them? I usually keep them sealed till I open them to know which ones I haven't watched. But this one is Sunshine. So I said it was one of my favorite movies of the year. There wasn't too many movies I liked this year, and this was one of the most interesting of all the films. This was directed by Danny Boyle, who did 28 Days Later, not the sequel, 28 Weeks Later, which I thought, you know, it was fine. It was just a bunch of fine. You know, there's nothing wrong with it. It had decent actors and everything, but the first movie being shot with camcorders, and it was more of an art film, and the second one was just more of a zombie film. You know, and you could get that with any other zombie movie. It was really no different than any of that. I know people say it's infection and all, but it's zombies. Zombies are infected. It's just zombies. So, the next one, which I bought yesterday, which I was excited to get because it has the cast of Gilligan's Island. Batman apparently isn't on this. Somewhere I read. The Love Boat, Brady Bunch, and it's the Family Feud All-Star Edition. And it's really difficult to find see these episodes, and for them all being a collection is very cool. I hope they do more of these because I love seeing, you know, groups of cast together again for these. And this one I got the new, and I don't know if it's any good or not. I haven't watched it. The new White Noise. I wanted to watch it to see what the hell they were going to do with it. But what's weird about it is you can tell this was a pretty cheap movie and they didn't put much effort into it because here's White Noise 1. I didn't buy this yesterday or anything. I've had. Look at the cover and then look at the cover for the new one. It's the same image, just, you know, doctored in Photoshop a bit. In the back of White Noise 1 and the White Noise 2, they use the same girl from the first one and just change her around a bit. It's weird. I don't think they had much money in this. I know, though, it was intended originally to actually go to theaters, and something happened and it got changed last minute. Up until like January, this was planned to go to theaters, and it was probably going to be coming out in about a month or two. But that seems to happen a lot with a lot of movies, that they just last minute they canceled the Day of the Dead remake, which look really bad. And that was planned to be a big theatrical movie. It wasn't an official sequel to the Dawn of the Dead remake because it was a different company. But it was planned to be a big theatrical movie, and that didn't work out. This one I'm going to watch probably tonight, which I missed seeing in theaters, Joshua, which was sort of like an Omen-style movie, and I really wanted to watch this in theaters, but it didn't come anywhere around here and was gone really fast. But this one, I definitely want to watch. Yeah, and a lot of people have asked like why some of them are sealed. Like I was saying, if they're sealed, I don't keep everything sealed. That just means I haven't watched them yet. It's like I have a lot of movies that I haven't watched, and I usually try and watch something every night, but I've been lately caught up so much on watching these not Family Guy, fuck, I don't watch that, Family Matters, because I've been taping, like I said, on Fox Family, or ABC Family they call it now. But if any of you want to do something like a similar ritual that I do, start taping them. If you have a digital video recorder box, that's what I use. Record them every day. They have some of them at 7 and 12 in the afternoon or something, and I just tape them and watch them at night. That is really a great show, and if anyone from ABC sees this, I don't know if they will, please put that out. At least put out a best of. If you have no plans for a box set because the first season Steve Urkel didn't come in until the last episodes and there might not be enough interest, just release like a 30 episode best of with all the best episodes of all the seasons. Anything is better than nothing, and I'd love something of that show. So thanks to everyone for watching this video. Yet again, I say this every time, we got about 100 more subscribers, and I really appreciate everyone subscribing to this and favoriting this and sending this around to everybody. So thanks a lot for watching, and be on the lookout for more DVD updates and favorite DVD collections and some of the Don and Murph reviews in the coming days. Okay, thank you.